I am so excited for today's video. Today we are going to be reviewing, swatching, and demoing the new e.l.f. Cosmetics Mad for Matte Holy Smokes palette, or the Mad for Matte 3. So this is e.l.f. Cosmetics' third Mad for Matte palette. I believe that they not reformulated, but they renamed the line. I don't know what the first palette is called, but I know the second one that they came out with is called Summer Breeze, and this one is Holy Smokes. So on their website it says that this is the fall palette. I'm not sure if like the first one was meant for like a winter palette or something like that. I'm not sure. So before we jump into the video, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and yeah, let's begin. Before we actually start swatching and demoing, I want to tell a little bit about the product. So the product just launched last week. I was really excited because I was able to snag one, and I honestly thought for sure that they were going to be sold out. I've tried to get my hands on the Mad for Matte 2 palette, the Summer Breeze, and I've never been able to do that. It's always been sold out, and it's not sold in stores. The same with this. This is not sold in stores as of right now. This is online only. So when you order the palette, this is the box that it comes into. You get 14 grams of product. The palette does retail for $10. And let's read the back of it. It says, achieve beautiful, bold, or subtle eye looks with these perfectly curated 10 matte eyeshadows. The collection of hues are ideal for shading, highlighting, and defining the eyes. A satin matte texture can be used as a liner, on the lid, or in the crease of the eye for an expertly contoured and blending effect. Hashtag play beautifully. And then it does list the ingredients. I would say that typical of a kind of a cheaper drugstore palette, the first ingredient is talc. So if you're looking for something with a little bit more higher quality ingredients, this is not it for you. Again, for $10, I'm okay with this. You do get 10 shades. So this is what the palette looks like. I have not touched it, I have not swatched it, and it has been very difficult for me not to do that because I wanted to play with this so bad. I got it yesterday and it took everything I had not to touch this. So let's talk about the packaging. So you get 10 shadows, you have a nice little mirror here, which is always nice. In first impressions, I think that this palette would be amazing for travel. It's a really sturdy, like, plastic case. It's not flimsy at all. It doesn't, I don't know, I don't get the feel like this would break or something like that if you were traveling. I like that it's a snap closure as well. Like, it's not like a magnetic or something like that, because I feel like palettes that close with a magnet are much more likely to open or break or something like that. So, and it's pretty small. I mean, you can see using my hand as kind of reference, like this is a very, very small palette. And so far, I'm impressed. Just on first glance, I'm impressed. I love the colors. So yeah, I think that about does it for like the review portion of it. So let's get into swatching. So I'm going to swatch these on my arm. I'm going to move out of the angle so you can just see me swatching. And yeah, let's do that. what the palette looks swatched like. First impressions, the eyeshadows definitely are on the drier side, but they still feel velvety at the same time. So like I said, they're definitely drier, but they feel velvety at the same time. There are some that I did not do too well swatching, like this lightest shade, the gray one, and then this deep, deep kind of taupey gray over here swatched really terribly. Just really patchy and not really feeling it. You definitely have to dig in there to swatch them. It's not like a Tarte shadow, if you've ever used Tarte shadows, where you really barely have to touch the shadow to get a nice even swatch. You really have to dig in there. But again, keep in mind, these are $10. This is not a $50 eyeshadow palette. So far I am impressed. Again, I think for 10 eyeshadows for $10, that's about $1 a piece. I really don't think you can go wrong, especially just hearing the good things about it and also my swatches, but the true test is to actually demo it and use it on the eyes. So that is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna zoom you in, I'm going to put on some shadow shields, and I will be right back. So I'm gonna slap some primer on my eyes. I'm just gonna use some concealer. I've really been into this recently, like rather than buying a primer or an eye primer. So to set my eye primer, or my concealer rather, I am going to take this first color, this first like matte white shade, and see what we get. So first impressions on that color, I really like it. It's not super opaque. It's not like a streak of white. It's a very faint kind of wash of color, but I do like that. That's like pretty much exactly the type of powder that I use to set down my concealer, is because it definitely brightens the eye, but it doesn't make it, you know, just like pure white, and it just gives other shadows just a good base to work with. So let's start now with a transition shade. I am just going to use a big fluffy brush. And I think I'm gonna take that third color. I think that's probably a perfect transition shade right here. Whoops, right here. So the brushes seem to be picking up a lot of pigment, which is nice. There's not a lot of kick up, also good. Shadow shields. You know what? We'll clean up with a makeup wipe after. So again, with that second shade, I'm having no problems blending. Nothing's choppy. If it does look like crap, it's probably my fault. Yeah, I am not having any issues with these shadows whatsoever. I can't believe this. This is 10 bucks. What? This is awesome. So I definitely want to test out the blues, because I feel like that's going to be like the true test. I feel like it's kind of hard to mess up a brown eyeshadow, but a blue? So now that we have that transition color, I'm going to take this, I guess the lighter of the blues, it's almost green. This one right here. So I'm going to take that on a little bit of a smaller crease brush, and I'm going to be really precise with that, and I'm just going to put it in the crease. So these are definitely pigmented. That's nice. I went in with a fairly light hand, just because you never know how pigmented an eyeshadow is going to be. And you can always build it up versus, you know, pile too much on and then you're screwed. Alright, so I'm having a little bit of trouble with this kind of line right here. I mean, it's not so bad with facing this way, but once I turn. All right, guys, so that's it for the blue color, and I kind of want to like pass this off to you. Like, what are your thoughts? How does this look? I feel like this looks going to shit. So for all over the lid, I'm gonna take that bright blue color. I really wanted to do something a little bold. So this bright blue color right here, we're gonna see how much fallout there is, because usually with blue eyeshadows, at least for me, I always deal with fallout. definitely some fallout. You can see it kind of right here. And this color, not having the best luck with. You can kind of see how choppy it is on screen. You can see like, I'm definitely not giving up, and I'm going to keep blending. So yeah, I'm not really impressed with those blues at all, either like that green or the blue, and you can kind of just see really how choppy it is. So I'm gonna go back with my blending brush, and I'm gonna see if I can get rid of any of these lines here. So that's kind of it, guys. Like I said, I'm not, especially this eye is really, I mean, you can just see. So I'm gonna go into that matte black right on the end and try to deepen out this like outer V of the eye. And let's see how that holds up. Okay, better. A lot of pigment, blends easier. Cool. I'm in. All right, let's take a makeup wipe and kind of get some clean lines here. That's pretty much all I'm gonna do for the top. I tested out pretty much the shadows that I wanted to. I really wanted to see how those blues would do and stuff like that. So, alright guys, so that's pretty much it for the demo. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup, and I'm going to be back and I will give you my final thoughts. Alright guys, so I am back. I finished up the rest of my makeup, and I am here to give you my final thoughts. Overall, I do think that the palette's worth it. Even if you were to stay away from the two blue shades, you still get 8 shadows for 10 bucks. And honestly, I feel like I tested out the blue shadows because those were the hardest. Blue and purple can sometimes really be hard for makeup companies to do. So I wanted to see if e.l.f. could do it at an affordable price. And I'm not gonna lie, I think they kind of failed. This royal blue one was particularly difficult to blend out. The green one did a little bit better, but not by much. The transition shade that I used was perfect. I didn't have any issues there. That blended out, I mean, maybe with just the tiniest bit of extra work. And this matte white or off-white shade was good too. So it's really up to you. I bought this. I'm not sponsored. I'm not on anybody's PR list. So I did buy the palette. I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to return it or anything like that. I can't speak on the other palettes. I did buy, I think I told you, I bought the second one, the Summer Breeze palette, but I haven't tried it. I didn't test it. So I can't really speak on that, whether this was like an improvement or it, you know, took a downturn. I can't really speak on that, but I still think even if you were to stay away from the blue and the green, you still get 8 shadows for 10 bucks, which is still a pretty good deal. So overall, I'm gonna recommend it. I think that you can make the blues work with a lot of effort like I did. I blended these shadows out for quite a while, and they are absolutely not perfect by any stretch, but I think I can wear them today, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm gonna have too much of an issue. I don't think I look like total crap. Again, I just kind of want to like reinforce that the palette is $10. How much are we really gonna complain for a $10 palette? I'm gonna keep mine. I still like it. I'm still gonna work with it and play around with it, and maybe I can do something different next time that will help these shadows blend out a little bit differently. As always, this is a conversation, so I would love to hear from you if you have it, or if you're gonna buy it, if you're not gonna buy it, what are your reasons? I would love to hear that, and I of course will respond in the comments as I always do. To wrap up this video, if you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing and give it a big thumbs up. It helps me out greatly. And as always, make sure you leave a comment telling me how you feel about this palette. Really, I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, I will see you next time in my next video. Mwah!